Just want to welcome you all here to the Johnson Sports Center this morning. Thank you all for coming. On behalf of NNU Athletics and Northwest Nazarene University, we're all very excited to announce our new AD this morning. And without further ado, let me bring up and welcome President Joel Pearsall to the stage.
Thanks, Josh, and good morning to one and all. Thanks for gathering this morning. It's a special day for NNU. As you're fully aware, NNU transitioned almost 25 years ago to NCAA Division II, and with that transition, there were some growing pains. What I'm pleased to announce this morning is to tell you what you already know, that transition has been completed quite successfully. NNU now annually has teams and student athletes who compete in NCAA Division II national tournaments and national meets, and that occurs on a regular basis. That sort of success does not occur without skilled and effective leadership. And most recently, that leadership has been provided by Kelly Lindley as NNU's athletic director for the past 8 years. Many of you are aware that her effectiveness led us to recently appoint Kelly as NNU's Vice President for External Relations, where we know Kelly will be just as, if not even more, effective. All of that brings us to today's press conference. So it is now my privilege to introduce NNU's next Director of Athletics. Before I do that, though, let me first thank Vice President Karen Pearson, our Vice President for Student Life, who led this search effort. Thanks for your good work in that regard, Karen. All of you are familiar with Mr. Paul Rush, an Idaho native who joined NNU 8 years ago as an assistant coach and who has served as NNU's head men's basketball coach for the past 6 years. So please join me in welcoming to the podium NNU's new Director of Athletics, Mr. Paul Rush.
Luke almost made it up here with me. Today's a great day. It's a special day, not only for the reason you're thinking, but also because 10 years ago, my wife and I stood out in like 102-degree weather and got married. And so at 11 a.m., regardless of what's going on, her and I are out of here. We're going to go celebrate our 10th anniversary and don't want to miss our flight. But seriously, I want to thank my wife. You can see she has her hands full, and she's made a ton of sacrifices for me to be a basketball coach and now stepping into this athletic director position. And I want to thank those little boys, Jack, TJ, Isaiah, and Luke, for making some sacrifices too. And I'm super thankful. These guys have been able to grow up around the basketball guys, and they've been huge influences in their lives, but now they get to grow up around softball girls and track guys and all the student athletes we have here at NNU. And it's exciting to think about them growing up in this environment. I want to thank President Pearsall for kind words, but more importantly for the leadership, the direction this university is going in, navigating really tough years, really challenging and uncertain years, and everything you've done to point us in the direction we are now. And I want to thank Karen Pearson and the hiring committee for putting me in this role, for giving me this opportunity, allowing me to step into this new position. I want to thank Kelly for what she's done in our athletic department, the people she's hired, the culture she's built, where we stand now as Nampa's home team, poised to move into the future is really because of the work she's done. So thank you, Kelly. And I want to thank my dad. My whole adult life, we've had lots of leadership conversations, and I don't think I'd be prepared for this without all of those. Let me be clear, I'm stepping into this role as Director of Athletics, but when I think about this department, I see it as God's department. And I see that He has a plan for it, and my goal is to pray into and live into that plan. And that's not just happening here, that happens across campus here at NNU, and it's one of the things that makes it a really special place. when I showed up here 8 years ago as an assistant coach, one of the first guys we brought on campus came from a background where he'd lived on the streets. He had family members in the mafia, so he was pretty rough around the edges. And what was really cool is when he first got to campus, almost immediately you could see the people here just put their arms around him. You could see the people here love him. And he got to experience, in his 4 years here, he got to experience God's love without people preaching at him, and it changed his life for eternity. And that's what I want our athletic department to do. That's my goal for our athletic department. The students that come in here, I want them to thrive as college students. I want them to experience the challenging academics, but most importantly, I want them to experience God's love, and I want them to know God's love. Because this is a really special place, and people need to know what's going on here and what's going on this campus. And I think our athletic department can help lead the way with that. You know, students come here, not just athletes, but students come here and they get to experience that community that I was talking about with that love, but then they also get to experience these distinguished high-level academics where they're challenged and they're prepared and they step out into the community, back into their homes, and change the people around them, change the communities around them, have these significant impacts because of the way the academics have prepared them to step into life. And people need to know about it. I mean, it's really exciting stuff, and I think our athletic department can help lead the way, can put us on a stage so people find out and know what NNU is doing in the lives of these students. And it's really exciting. When I was thinking about this position, the thing that got me the most excited was the opportunity to come alongside the staff and the coaches in this department. The opportunity to be with them and to serve them as they pour into the lives of these student athletes. We have some extremely knowledgeable, high-level staff and coaches that really are leaders and experts in their fields. They're really elite, and so I see my job as coming alongside and assisting them, figuring out how I can help them as they take their lives and all their time and effort and energy and pour it into the lives of the student athletes here. And so I see that as my role because of who those people are, because they are elite at what they do. I want to build our brand. I want to build our brand as we're becoming, and the work Kelly's done in this department, we're becoming one of the premier athletic departments at the NCAA Division II level. And NCAA Division II athletics is a high level. It's thriving and it's growing, and it creates a really competitive field for our athletes and for our coaches. But we are becoming one of the premier athletic departments in the country, and people need to know about it. As a Nampas home team, people need to know what we're doing and the trajectory that we're on in our athletic department. We've won national championships in track, but I think we're really poised to win more national championships. And I don't throw out national championships flippantly at the Division II level. That is a tall task. It is. There's over 300 teams. It's extremely challenging to do. But if you look at our programs, if you look at our coaches and what they've built, they're standing on that precipice. They're standing poised, ready to step into that. They're knocking at the door of those national championships. And that's what I want to do. I want to assist those coaches and help them in that pursuit to bring some national championships home to Nampa here. So I tried to keep it short. We've only got one kid crying. And make sure my wife and I don't miss our flight. So thank you guys.